Right, bit of a rare beastie this one that's been in with us. It's a Kawasaki Bushwhacker 175. Came into us because the electric start, the dyno start, wasn't working very well. It was very poor, turning the engine over just thump, thump, thump. So we needed to have a look at that and give it a once over and a general check. First thing to check on it when it came in, it wouldn't start. We got it running on easy start through the back of the air filter. As soon as the easy start stopped, the engine cut out. So we just had the carburettor off. Carburettor on these is hidden under this little cover. It's a rotary engine, rotary valve, and the carburettor just draws in sideways. So you have to take all this cover off to get to the carb. Found the pilot jet blocked and the carburettor float height's quite a long way out. So adjusted that, got it started. Dyno start then we had a look at. It's a dynamo generator under this cover down here, and when you want it to electric start, you just reverse the current. Battery discharges through the dynamo and powers it. I simplified that a bit, but that's the general idea. You turn the generator into a starter motor. We found there's 4 brushes, little contact brushes, and one of them was cracked and coming apart, and the other 3 were very worn out. So we replaced those. The Kawasaki ones are about £50 each. Measured them up and figured they were very much the same as the Yamaha RD200, which are about sort of £20 each. So we got a cheaper set. They were identical when they came, so they fitted straight in. One on test ride, the front end felt very loose, wobbly, and the speedo wasn't working. So we had a look into all of it. We found these clamp bolts were too long. They were bottoming out on the threads. They weren't actually gripping the fork tube, so they were rotating there. These were loose. This crown nut here was loose. And then when we're testing to find out why the speedo didn't work, we were spinning the cable. Obviously the speedo needle needs to rotate and go upwards in a clockwise direction as we're looking at it. The cable was going anti-clockwise, so it was trying to drag the needle downward. So, got some Google images up. I thought I might knew what the problem might be on this, and it turns out we were right. I was right. The drum brake was on this side, and this fork leg here was fitted on this side, and the whole thing was the wrong way around. So as the wheel was effectively turning backwards, so it was spinning the cable backwards. I suppose fairly easily done if you're not used to the bikes. Anybody could really make the same mistake if they didn't really know which side the brake goes on. But on the Kawasaki's, on this particular model, the drum brake goes on the right. On quite a lot of bikes, you'll find that the drum brake fits on the left. So somebody had just fitted it with what they were used to. We got that done. I'm still not 100% convinced that that mudguard isn't on backwards, but I'm sure the owner can sort that if it is. I've had a word with him because the clutch is slipping just a little bit, but that may bed in with some use. I don't think it's been used for a very long time, and if not, he's happy to sort things like that himself. He's mechanically minded, so he's happy to have a go at things. The neutral light wasn't working. It was just sort of flickering on up there, so we had a look into it. There's a neutral switch under here. It's a Bakelite switch made of very hard material. It was cracked across the back, and inside it there is a little brass arm, contact arm, like a wiper, and it had snapped. We're not going to be able to get anything like that, so I sacrificed a feeler gauge, created it and fashioned it to shape, so the feeler gauge became the wiper arm to make the contact, and the housing itself we cemented with some chemical metal and resin around the outside to strengthen it. It was intact, it was just cracked, so that's gone back on again, and all in all we're done. It's on its way back to its owner tomorrow. I'm just doing final checks, give it a bit of a clean up, give it a look over, see if this electric start's going to play ball for us. We need a bit of choke. Two-handed, I might be stuck on this. Let's give it a go without choke and see what it does. There we go. Oh, keep it going, keep it going. I've got the fuel turned off and the carburettor's probably empty, so it probably wasn't wanting to go, but it did. There we go. On the exhaust here it just says, if you can read it, Chrisman Spark Arrestor, forestry approved. And obviously up there in the exhaust outlet it's just must be probably an American feature, I guess, probably an American import. Anyway, that's a nice little bike. It's been lovely to have it in. Sort of a shame to see them go when they're this nice, but it's back to its happy owner, and he can do the rest of it and do the testing miles and enjoy it himself.